Girlfriends ranked best to worst based on your zodiac. 1. Sagittarius. While Sags might be their own worst enemy and toughest critic as a girlfriend, they will never put you down the way they do themselves. They lift others up and help you to see your full potential. They are selfless and think about others first always. This often leads to neglecting their own feelings and needs, which might lead to conflict in the relationship. Trust is huge for them. Once you gain their trust, you have their loyalty forever. They love hard and don't hold back. If you find yourself in the eye of their affection, you'll get their whole heart. They think deeply about everyone and everything and how their actions affect others. You'll fall for how much they care for others and everything they do to show their appreciation. Sags are guarded up, but once you break through their walls, you have a piece of their heart forever. 2. Pisces. At first, they come across as super shy. They'll push you away initially, but you'll find something intriguing about it. You'll realize once they let you in that the best people are a little guarded. Out of all the signs, they are the one you can trust most. As a girlfriend, they will be your #1 support system and always be in your corner. Pisces are super good at reading people. They'll watch you closely, picking up on body language. They have a way of really getting to know people by more than just the things you say, but rather the things you don't. They pick up on vibes and can tell when you are off. Even if you're great at faking it, they'll know and they'll do anything to try and fix it. Out of all the signs, Pisces are the most sensitive, so what that means is they'll never come across as malicious or meaning to hurt you. If they do mess up, they will be the first to apologize and try and make it right. Their relationships are ones in which they don't fight much because they don't believe in it. 3. Capricorn. They are natural-born perfectionists. So when it comes to relationships, they will always try their absolute best and give their fullest. Capricorns will always be the dominant ones in a relationship. In a relationship, they will always defend you and have your back against any and everyone if they have to. The people they love are the ones who matter most. Capricorns are a little harder to read because they are good at hiding how they feel. That strength is an admirable quality, but sometimes they'll need you just to rely on. They have an unbelievably guarded heart, so if you do win it over, consider yourself someone very rare. 4. Libra. Libras are the kindest of all zodiacs. In relationships, they try to avoid conflict, but avoiding talking about problems only makes them worse when they do come to a head. They always strive to be positive and happy, but when someone hurts them, they feel it very deeply. They are the giver in a relationship and always fail to put their needs first, so they won't ever ask you for things they want. One of the most popular signs in a relationship, they'll always be social, including you in everything. It's up to you to not let their spotlight make you feel less. Relationships end with Libras due to jealousy they don't even understand, because their charismatic nature is something that comes naturally to them. As their partner, you gotta keep them on a long leash and not be the jealous type. Their flaws include a temper that comes out very rarely, but when it does, it's ugly, and they say things they regret. 5. Gemini. Geminis have two very different sides to them. Half the time they are fun and outgoing. The other half of the time they are dark and negative. In a relationship, they always try to hide the side to them they don't like, but it's something you'll have to learn to accept and love too, even if they can't. With that being said, they will accept every part to who you are. While Geminis do make the top 5 on the list, this has to do with loyalty and the trust they value in another. But once you cross them, they can cut you off and not think twice about it. Second chances to them are few and far between. Once they see someone's true colors, that is it for them. They love hard and feel pain even deeper, but they will never show you when they are down. 6. Aquarius. Ranking in at number 6. They don't make the all-time best girlfriend, but they don't make the worst either. They are usually the weirdest out of all signs, but weird isn't always a bad thing. They shy away from relationships a lot of the time because they need their independence, but if you can get one to commit to you, you have a loyalty that will last a lifetime. of their better qualities is they look at your flaws as something to be admired. But they look at their own as something to hate. Teaching an Aquarius to love themselves is the hardest part of dating one. They might love you with everything they have, but they will never channel that into themselves. Their insecurities you'll realize early on, but if you can love them through the process of them learning to love themselves, it can be a strong relationship. They overthink more than any other sign, so you'll have to hear out their scenario they make up, which can grow frustrating to you as someone who dates them. The key to them is patience. 7. Leo. Leos are hopeless romantics with expectations that aren't realistic sometimes. While they'll do anything for the person they love, they find themselves attracted to people who don't meet them halfway. They grow a bit frustrated giving everything they have to someone who doesn't, and that's what causes the most fights with Leos in relationships. While high expectations are good, unrealistic expectations lead to them getting hurt. They always have a knack for choosing the wrong people and gravitate towards a certain type, and no matter how much they get hurt, they don't change. They never take their friends' advice when it comes to love, and they continue to run in these circles. It isn't that they make a bad girlfriend, but they choose the wrong people who don't want to commit. 8. Cancer. While Cancers do have a heart of gold, wearing their heart on their sleeve as much as they have has only led to them getting hurt. They don't make bad girlfriends, they'd make one of the best if they didn't push people away as much as they do. They don't trust anyone but themselves, so relationships are difficult for them. They want to love as much as they fear it, and they often get in their own way of what could be a healthy relationship. They second-guess themselves a lot and have trouble making decisions. The truth is they care, even if they pretend they don't, and come across as harsh. 9. Taurus. Out of any sign, Taurus are the toughest to get in a relationship with. They want no part of it. And it isn't that they lead people on or like stringing someone along. They just have their own life and are happy with it. Out of any sign, they break hearts the worst. They do everything at their own pace. You pressure them, and they take off running. They have a cold heart. Once a relationship ends, always their call. You never get a second chance. They don't believe in running in circles with people or games. Why play games when they are the ones making the rules? They are painfully independent, so if you can get their heart, consider yourself a rare breed. 10. Aries. In a relationship, Aries rush really quickly into things. That can be a little intimidating for someone they date. They like to take control of any and all situations, which are hard for a lot of guys sometimes. Their strong personality might be what attracted someone to them, but it can also be a turn-off when it's too much. They need someone who is opposite of them. Aries will always be the dominant one making calls in a relationship, so you'd have to be okay with something like that. They have a tough exterior and a bad temper, but once you do get to know them, you'll see they are sensitive. They come across cold and have an acid tongue. So when you fight, not only will you lose, but they will probably say something that hurts. 11. Virgo. Virgos are the most critical of all signs. This makes relationships hard because they never think they are good enough for the person they are interested in. They are painfully insecure and jealous, which leads to a lot of relationships ending. They are perfectionists, so when they fail at anything, you'll see them fall apart and beat themselves up. It's hard to watch anyone you care about self-destructing like that. More than that, it becomes a tiring act to try and convince a Virgo woman to see herself through your eyes when, no matter what you say, she counters it with negativity. Not only are they critical of themselves, you'll see them lash out at you and pick you apart sometimes. It's hard to be with someone who not only doesn't love themselves, but makes you feel like they don't love you either. 12. Scorpio. Scorpio woman is the scariest of all signs. They run shit and control any and all relationships they are a part of. They come across as cold and heartless. They are also painfully blunt, so if you want to engage in a relationship with them, you've got to have thick skin, because they will tell you everything like it is and not hold back. They aren't mean. They are honest and don't hold back. They are ruthless when it comes to crossing them. Mess up even once, and you're dead to them. They hold their relationship's standards very high, which make a partner feel like they have to walk on eggshells sometimes. Often described as the storm of all zodiacs, there is no way to really predict them, so you can either be on their side and safe, or they'll completely destroy you if you're in their way. Out of all signs, they are the toughest to get to fall in love with. But once that happens, you have them forever. FitCatalog.com